Welcome back to episode 3 of the shoulder series. These are my 5 favorite injury prevention exercises. These exercises are great for a multitude of reasons, but one of my favorites is they provide great stability through different angles of mobility through the entire shoulder girdle complex. We're going to get started with Theraband Rose. So for Theraband Rose, what we're going to do is we're going to start with our arms straight out ahead of us without hiking our shoulders. So the majority of this exercise is actually going to come from between your shoulder blades. Your arms are just kind of going along for the ride. So Laura is going to kind of stand up nice and tall with great posture, then she's going to retract her shoulder blades as she brings her elbows back, and then come back out with that. Perfect. So bring those shoulders down. There you go. Retract. Perfect. Just like that. So after a couple reps, you're going to feel it kind of more in here, working all of these posterior scapular stabilizing muscles as well as all these postural muscles that are so important. So this next exercise is bilateral upper extremity external rotation. The title kind of says exactly what it is, but there are 3 key components for this. So Laura's going to demonstrate with your elbows basically super glued to your side. You're going to hold onto the band with your palms up and just slowly kind of pull it away from the middle and then come back down. Perfect. So after a couple reps, the big things I like to see are the first thing is the external rotation of the shoulder itself. The second thing is that the goal is to have a nice scapular retraction without hiking your shoulders. And number 3, we get a little bit of thoracic extension to really work on those postural stabilizing muscles as well. So these are great because they work a lot of the smaller scapular stabilizers that we don't typically work on a day-to-day basis. This is a great one for people who have been working at home or work long shifts at a computer that is consistently bent forward. This exercise really kind of opens you up in that posture that we were meant to have. All right, so this next one is Theraband external rotation at 90-90. This is one of my favorite exercises for any type of overhead athlete and swimmer. Basically what's going to happen is she's going to go into the 90-90 position. So 90-degree shoulder abduction, 90 degrees elbow flexion. And as she gets there, she's going to keep that contracted, and then she's going to bring her arm up, rotating up towards the ceiling. Good. And then coming back down. So this provides another level of stability in that external rotation plane with our arm away from our body that we don't typically get when we keep it down low with the previous exercise. So this next exercise is a 2-for-1. So it's PNF D1 D2 patterns. PNF stands for proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation, which basically brings us back to the motor control of development. So what Laura's going to do is she's going to stand on a band with her opposite leg while her right arm rests at her left hip. As she's going to bring it up, she's going to rotate her thumb so it's pointing up by the time it gets to her belly button, and go the whole way up towards the ceiling, and then back down. So what this does is this combines 3 different shoulder motions. It combines shoulder flexion, abduction, and external rotation all in one exercise. So that was the D2 pattern. This is the D1 pattern, which is the exact same but completely opposite, if that makes any sense. So the band's going onto her same side, the band's in her hand, and what it's going to look like is basically like you're taking some salt and just throwing it over your shoulder. Perfect. Now spring's right around the corner. Everyone likes going for a walk, right? So let's just add one more shoulder stability component. Now this is called a racked carry. So what Laura's going to do is she's going to bring that kettlebell up right in front of her, and she's just going to take a stroll. So what this does is this adds a dynamic component to all the scapular stability we've been working on throughout this entire process. So thanks again for tuning in to episode 3 of the shoulder series. If you found this content enjoyable, please like and subscribe our page. And go ahead and share it with some friends and family. Maybe throw a couple exercises their way too. Join us next week, Friday at 9 a.m. for episode 4, The Next Level.